Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're welcome to yet another episode of economics class. Last week, we considered monopoly market, which is one of the types of imperfect market. Today, inshallah, we shall be concluding our discussion on market structure. And today, we shall be looking at monopolistic competition. But before we go on, by the time we are done with this topic today, you are expected to be able to define monopolistic competitive market. Also, you should be able to state the similarities between a monopolistic competitive market and a perfect market. You should be able to state the differences also that exist between monopolistic competition and perfect competition. And finally, you should be able to explain graphically the equilibrium position of a monopolistic competitive market. May Allah assist us. Let us start with monopolistic competition. A monopolistic competitive market is another type of imperfect market. It is such a unique market in the sense that it shares the characteristics of both perfect market and monopoly, which we had earlier discussed. This we shall look at. What is a monopolistic competitive market? It is a market situation where there are many buyers and sellers of similar but differentiated products. If you look at that definition critically, you will see areas where it is similar to the definition of a perfect market. Don't forget we said perfect market is a market structure which involves many buyers and many sellers. So we have the same thing also under monopolistic competitive market. In a monopolistic competitive market, there are usually many buyers and many sellers selling similar but differentiated products. That is just the aspect where monopolistic competition differs from a perfect market. Under perfect market, the operators deal in homogeneous products. But in the case of a monopolistic competition, the similar products that are being bought and sold by the operators are differentiated. That is, they are heterogeneous. And what this simply means is that the goods that are sold by the operators, though they are similar, but we can identify areas of differences in their product, because these actors, these sellers, these suppliers devise different features, and it is the inclusion of these unique features that they have included in their product that make one seller's or one producer's product to be unique, to be differentiated from that of other competitors. Let me give you an example. Look at the telecoms industry in Nigeria, for instance. You realize that all these telecom providers, all of them operate, they engage in the same business, which is what? Telecoms what? Business. But you can actually differentiate MTN Nigeria from Globalcom and the likes. So that is that. They are producing similar products, but they are differentiated. Because there are certain features that you can find in MTN, which might not be found in what? In Globalcom, and so on and so forth. So when we talk about monopolistic competitive market, in summary, it is a form of a market structure that involves many buyers and many sellers of similar products, but what? Differentiated. They sell similar, but what? Differentiated products. So in essence, they deal in heterogeneous products. Products that are similar, but they are what? They are differentiated in one way or the other. The demand curve for the first product will be downward sloping because of the loyalty and attachment of customers to the firm from which they make their purchases. Unlike in perfect market, where the demand curve is a perfectly elastic demand curve. But in the case of a monopolistic competitive market, the monopolistic competitor has a downward sloping demand curve. This means that a monopolistic competitor is a price setter. Yeah, he has some level of control over the price of his commodity. So, despite the fact that the competitors offer similar products, but they have the ability of fixing prices for their commodities because their products have been made to be unique from one producer to that of the world, that of the other. And that is why if you look at the services rendered by MTN and that of Globalcom, you see some differences in the prices of their work, of their services. So that is that. And despite that, they still have their respective customers. We have some consumers that prefer MTN to what? To Globalcom. We have others that prefer what? Celtel to MTN and so on and so forth. It is not as a result of the price. The consumers are not moved at all. They don't consider, they don't see the price as anything. What drives them rather are the unique features which individual suppliers have included in their services. So people tend to be more, to be loyal. Consumers tend to be loyal to a particular, operator as a result of the unique features which are assumed, perceived to be available in this, in the service or product being offered by that particular operator, which they believe are not available, are not available in the one provided by the world, by that of a competitor, other competitor, and that is why they are price setters. They charge different prices for similar commodities. The reason is that, don't forget I've told you, consumers are not moved by the price. What matters most to the consumers are these unique features in terms of the packaging, in terms of the branding, and all other features that are that are included in the services offered. So in a monopolistic competitive market, the demand curve is downward sloping, and the reason is just because the operator is a price setter. Yeah, he has a control on the price. Unlike under perfect market, where the operators are price takers. Don't forget. So that's another area of difference. They are similar in the sense that there are many buyers and many sellers, but they are different in the sense that a perfect competitor is a price taker, while a monopolistic competitor is a price setter. Now let's look at the similarities that exist between monopolistic competition and perfect competitions. So we want to look at areas where they are similar. Number one, there is free entry and exit in both markets. Yeah, we discussed that as part of the characteristics of a perfect market, that there is a free entry and exit of the operators. So the same thing is applicable in a monopolistic competitive market. Operators are very free to enter the market anytime they wish, and they are also free to exit the market whenever they so desire. So there is free entry and exit in both perfect competition and a monopolistic competitive market. Another difference, there is excess profit for both in the short run. Yes, under perfect market, you are made to understand that in the short run, a perfect competitor is able to maximize profit, as in to make excess profit. They are able to make excess profit, while in the long run, they make normal profit. So the same thing is also applicable to a perfect monopolistic competitive market. They make excess profit in the short run. At the same time, they also make normal profit, which is also called economic profit in the long run, as a result of the entrance, as a result of the joining of newcomers in the long run. Another one, there is a large number of buyers and sellers in both markets that have been established in the definition. There are many buyers and many sellers, both in a perfect market and that of a monopolistic competitive market. Another one, profit is maximized when marginal cost equals marginal revenue. I said that at the beginning of this very topic, market structure, that this golden rule is applicable to all forms of market, be it perfect market or imperfect market. That the condition for profit maximization is where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. Another one is that profit will just be normal in the long run in both models. I've said that they make excess profit in the short run. Both of them make normal profit in the long run as a result of free entry and exit. So in the short run, they both make excess profit, while in the long run they make normal profit. This is due to the what? To the future, to the catalysis of what? Free entry and exit. It is assumed that in the long run we have entrance, we have the incoming of new operators in the market. So by so doing, wiping away the excess profit being made in the short run. So these are the areas, some of the areas of similarities between perfect competition and monopolistic competition. There is free entry and exit in the two markets. There is excess profit for both in the short run. There is a large number of buyers and sellers in both markets. Profit is maximized where marginal revenue equals marginal cost, and profit will just be normal in the long run in both models. Yeah? Let's move on. Let's now look at differences between monopolistic competition and perfect competition. Yes, as there are similarities between them, so also there are a number of differences between perfect competition and monopolistic competitive market. One, monopolistic competition deals in heterogeneous products, while the products are homogeneous in a perfect competition. Yeah, while we're considering the definition, we said monopolistic competition is a market situation where there are many buyers and many sellers of similar but differentiated products. So, meaning that monopolistic competitive market involves the selling and buying of heterogeneous products. But in the case of perfect competition, they deal in homogeneous products. Another difference, monopolistic competitors are price setters, while perfect competitors are price takers. That has been said earlier on. Under perfect competition, the operators are price takers. They have no control whatsoever over the price, as the price is usually being determined by the forces of demand and supply. But in the case of monopolistic competitive market, the operators are price setters because they have control over the what? Over the price of their product. Another difference, different prices rule in a monopolistic competition, while uniform price prevails in a perfect competition. Like I told you, look at the example of operators like the telecom industry I said earlier on. If you look at the rate being charged by MTN and Globalcom in terms of data, their data is not what? Is not the same. Even though they are in the same business, they charge different what? Prices. But in the case of a perfect market, uniform price usually prevails. That is, the seller, all the sellers, they sell at the same price because they have no control over the price, and the price is usually determined through the force of demand and supply. So another difference between monopolistic competition and perfect competition is that price and quantity are determined by the producer or supplier in a monopolistic competition, while price and quantity are determined by the interaction of the forces of demand and supply in a perfect competition. That has just been said. In the case of monopolistic competition, the operators, as in the suppliers, they determine the price or what? The quantity. But in the case of perfect competition, the price is usually being determined by the interaction of the forces of demand and supply. Another difference is that under monopolistic competition, price is higher than both marginal cost and marginal revenue, while the equilibrium level is established where marginal cost equals marginal revenue equals price in a perfect competition. Yeah, under perfect competition, if you can still remember, we said a perfect competitor has a perfectly elastic demand curve such that the marginal cost is equal to the marginal revenue cost is equal to what? The price. But in the case of monopolistic competitive market, the price is higher than the marginal cost and marginal revenue what? Marginal revenue curves, as demonstrated in the diagram which we are going to see. Another difference is that preferential treatment exists under monopolistic competition, while there is absence of preferential treatment in a perfect competition. Yes, everyone is treated equally under a perfect market. Yeah, no preferential treatment whatsoever. But in the case of monopolistic competitive market, we have preferential treatment, as the rates, the prices charged are not usually the same. Another difference is that monopolistic competition has a downward sloping demand curve, while private competitor has a perfectly elastic demand curve. I've just also talked about that beginning under monopolistic competitive market. That in that particular market, the monopolistic competitor has a downward sloping demand curve. The reason being that he is a price setter. In the case of a private competitive market, the demand curve is a perfectly elastic demand curve, because the price, it is said that the operator is a price taker. He has no control over the price, so he has to abide by whatever price being established through the interaction of the forces of demand and supply. So these are some of the differences between monopolistic competition and private competition. Now we shall look at the price and quantity determination under monopolistic competition. If you look at the equilibrium position of monopolistic competitor, it is similar to that of the monopoly market we discussed last week. The equilibrium of the firm involves the usual profit maximization condition. I've told you the condition for profit maximization is similar in all markets, and the condition is such that profit will be maximized when marginal cost equals marginal revenue. So the equilibrium of the firm involves the usual profit maximization conditions, that is, where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. The short-term equilibrium of the firm is about the same as that of a monopolist, the one we discussed last week. Virtually the same thing. The monopolistic firm will maximize profit when marginal revenue equals marginal cost, and will produce output OQ and sell at OP per unit of output. Now, what this is trying to say is that, according to our discussion under monopoly market, we looked at how profit is maximized, how price is determined, how output is determined in the short run. And we are saying that the same thing is similar under monopolistic competitive market, because both of them have downward sloping demand curve. Both of them are price setters. They have downward sloping demand curve. But the difference in their demand curve is this. Under monopoly market, the degree of the slope or demand curve is sharper than that of monopolistic competitive market. That is, under monopolistic competitive market, the slope is a gentle slope. The reason is that the rate at which a monopolistic competitor can increase his price is lesser than the rate at which a monopolist can do so. So you have to take note of that. Under monopoly market, we have a sharp slope. Then under monopoly competitive market, we have a gentle slope. That we are going to see when we get to that aspect. So the golden rule for profit maximization or equilibrium position is when marginal cost equals marginal revenue. And I told you that in the short run, monopolistic competitor is able to make excess profit, while in the long run they make a normal profit. Let's now look at how this is achieved with the aid of the diagram. We have the curve, we have the price axis as visual. We have the quantity axis. We have the demand curve, which is equals to average revenue curve. Don't forget, under perfect market, the demand curve is equal to what? Average revenue curve is also equal to the marginal revenue curve. But under imperfect market, under monopolistic competitive market, the marginal revenue is falls below the average revenue curve, or the demand curve. We have our average cost, short-run average cost as usual. We have our short-run marginal curve. Don't forget, I told you the marginal curve usually passes through the minimum point of the average cost, indicating that the producer has produced at the lowest possible cost. Don't always forget, that is very, very important. Every rational producer must produce at the lowest possible cost in order to maximize profit. You minimize cost to maximize profit. So that is why the marginal cost usually passes through the minimum level of average cost. Now, after done all this, the next thing is our golden rule, where marginal cost equals marginal revenue curve. Don't forget, these are marginal revenue curve, as you can see, and these are what? Our marginal cost curve. These are marginal cost curve. So look at where both meet. The both of them are equal at this at point A, as you can see. So at point A, that is why where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. So that point, trace it upward to the demand curve. We have it, we meet at point B. So from there, trace it down to the price axis. We have P. So meaning that the price per unit is OP. That is the price per unit. OP. That is the price. And I told you that the price per unit is the same thing as average revenue. So this also, this point A where MC equals M out, trace it down to the quantity axis. We have Q1. So meaning that OQ1 is the output. That is the quantity, the total quantity sold. Then having these variables, you can establish our total revenue. Total revenue is equal to average revenue multiplied by output multiplied by quantity sold. So our average revenue is OP, as you can see. Then our output is OQ1. So multiplying this length by this breadth, we have the entire rectangle OPBQ1. Again, OPBQ1. That is the total revenue. Now, having established our total revenue, the next task is to know our total cost. I told you to get the total cost. Look at that point where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. So you now look at where that line touches the average cost curve. This is average cost curve. So this is exactly where they meet. The point where MC equals MR. The point where it meets with the short run average cost. This is what? Short run. These are short run average cost. The point where that meets is also what? At this point A. So you trace it down back to what? To the price axis. That is C. So meaning that from here, OC is our average cost. OC is average cost. Now we've known our average cost. To establish our total cost, total cost equals average cost multiplied by total quantity produced. And our output in this case is OQ1. So we're also multiplying this length here by this breadth. That is OC multiplied by OQ1. It will give us the rectangle OCAQ1. That is the total cost. Again, OCAQ1. That's our total cost. So we've known our total cost. Now, to get our profit, profit equals total revenue minus total cost. And we have established our total revenue to be the entire rectangle OPBQ1. And our total cost to be OCAQ1. So removing our total cost from total revenue, that is, removing this shape, this lower part of the rectangle from the whole rectangle, you'll be left with this what? The shaded portion. CPBA. Again, CPBA. That is the excess profit. So that is how the excess profit, that is the level of profit made in the short run. And don't also forget that the excess profit is only possible under monopolistic competitive market in the short run. In the long run, normal profit is what is usually being made. The reason is that in the long run, we have entrance of newcomers. When new operators come in the long run, the level of revenue recorded by the existing operators usually what? Diminish. Till the excess profit usually being recorded is completely wiped away. So they make excess profit in the short run, they make normal profit in the long run due to free entry and exit. So that is where it is similar to private competition. It is different from pure monopoly market in the sense that a monopolist has the opportunity of making excess profit both in the short run and in the long run, because there is no such opportunity for free entry and exit. Yes, the monopolists are usually being protected from any form of competition. So that is that. Now finally, let us now look at other forms of a market structure. Even though they have been stated initially when we started that with the different forms of imperfect market, only that I told you that we only limit ourselves to two of them, monopoly market and monopolistic competitive market. But this is just a brief short note on the other forms of imperfect market. We have oligopoly. Like I told you, oligopoly is a market that involves few sellers. So oligopoly, this is a market with a few firms producing differentiated products, and the action of one firm has a perceptible influence upon its rival. Another one is monopoly. We've discussed monopoly, which is a market structure involving only one seller or one distributor or one supplier. But in the case of monopoly, it is a market with a single buyer. So monopoly, one seller. Monopoly, one buyer. Duopoly. Duo means two. So duopoly is a market with only two firms or sellers. Duopoly, that is a market with two buyers. Oligopoly, a market with few buyers. A market with few buyers. So these are other forms of market structure. Summarily, we looked at monopolistic competitive market. We said it is a market structure that involves many buyers and many sellers of similar but differentiated products, meaning that the operators engage in the production and distribution of similar products, only that the products are being differentiated from one operator to that of other with the use of unique special features like branding, like packaging, like labeling, and so on and so forth. So that is that. Another thing is that a monopolistic competitor, as we said, is a price setter, because it has control over the price. Yes, it fixes the price, for its product. So it's a price setter, and that also explains why it has a downward sloping demand curve. Yeah, the demand curve is for downward sloping, just as like we have under monopoly market. So we looked at similarities between private competition and monopolistic competition. That is, both of them are able to maximize profit where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. Both of them make excess profit in the short run. They make normal profit in the what? In the long run. There are many buyers and many sellers in both markets. There is free entry and exit in both markets. We also consider areas of differences where they are different. The differences between private competition and monopolistic competition. In the case of demand curve, a private competitor has a private elastic demand curve, while a monopolistic competitor has a downward sloping demand curve. That is one difference. Monopolistic competitor is a price setter, while a private competitor is a price taker. It's a price taker. Then we look at how price and quantity are determined. We said it is the same general golden rule. Profit is maximized when marginal cost come up, marginal revenue. And I also will tell you the difference that exists between the demand curve of a private monopolistic competitor and that of a monopolist. Even though both of them have downward sloping demand curve, but the slope is where we have the difference. Under monopoly market, we have a very sharp slope, while monopolistic competitor has a gentle slope, and this explains the rate at which they can increase the price. The rate at which monopoly can vary its price is higher than that of a monopolistic competitor, even though we said that consumers are not being moved by the price. But if the difference is wider than necessary, that can open up their eyes to seeing price as what, as a major what, as a major factor that also needs to be considered. So I pray to Allah to bless our effort. Pray that the Almighty Allah continue to increase us in knowledge, be with us, protect and preserve us. Inshallah, your assignment will be made available to you as usual in your portal. I want to encourage you to go through the lesson, attempt the assignment, submit it, and may Allah be with us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.